Hey everybody, and welcome back to the log. Now this one's gonna be more TV centric because most of the movies that I watched for the first time this month I've talked about on this channel already, so I'm just gonna jump right into it and start off with a nice, easy, non-controversial let me just say up front that I am a Dave Chappelle fan. I've loved a lot of his material in the past, and you might even call him one of my favorite comedians. That being said, this isn't his best work. That's despite any opinion that I have on the things that he talked about in this special. It just seems like he's been stuck on this kind of stuff for his past few shows, and seems a little bit weird for how much he says that he doesn't really care what social media thinks of him. He spends at least 2/3 of this one basically justifying the things he's said in the past, and he ended up getting himself in more hot water because of it. Now for everybody's favorite topic, politics. Yay! So is Dave Chappelle transphobic because of the things that he said in this special, or is the left-wing cancel culture mob just claiming another victim who dared to challenge a small part of their agenda? Well, like with most things in this area, the answer is somewhere in between. A piece of entertainment being overly sensationalized by both sides of the political aisle? Well, I for one am shocked by this unprecedented development. Shocked, I tell you. Shocked! Again, I should reiterate, despite some areas of disagreement that I have with him, there were still a lot of great jokes in this because, I mean, it's Dave Chappelle. He's great at delivering jokes. That's what makes him one of my favorite comics, but the whole I'm Team Turf thing that got him in hot water, like, there's more to the story than what you were letting on, Dave. The way he laid it out was that he made it seem as if J.K. Rowling's cancellation was just because she said that biological sex is a real thing, and dude, that's not what she said. Regardless of how you feel about this topic, that's not what she said. I should probably get off this topic because I know no one likes a political tangent. In the end, I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. There's still lots of good comedy in this, but I really hope Dave Chappelle just moves on from this topic that he seems to be a little obsessed with at the moment and comes up with some tighter, less preachy material. Dream Horse. No. I mean, there's not really much to say here. It's pretty much a standard sports biopic about the underdog that no one thought would go anywhere, except the twist is it's a horse. It's a horse. I mean, the racing sequences were kinda cool, but that was the only part of the movie that wasn't just recycled dreck that I've seen a million times before. That's the review. Standard sports biopic, but horse. 5 out of 10. Alright, we're hitting a little section of stuff that I've already covered, so let's go through this real quick. Dune. I loved it. I reviewed it. You can watch it. The Final Girls. I covered this in my last video. I think it's a clever take for a parody. You can hear my more in-depth thoughts in this video right there. One Cut of the Dead. Same. Go watch that. That's also in that video. Over the Garden Wall. This is an animated mini-series featuring Elijah Wood as the main character, and I've heard nothing but praise of this for a while now, so I thought I'd check it out. And to be honest, I don't really get why people think this is so amazing. Do I think it's good? Yeah. Do I think it deserves a 4.6 out of 5 average rating? No, not even close. People really seem to love the two main characters, and I enjoyed their dynamic for sure, but it's not like they aren't common archetypes that I've seen before, especially the Greg character. Like, what sets him apart from most other naively positive kid characters. I do like the way that the story tied things together, and it did seem to get better as it went along, but as a whole package, it really just left me with a feeling like, okay, that was pretty neat, but I don't feel any need to dig deeper on this. If you love it, nothing against you. I just don't quite feel the same way. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Squid Game. This is a South Korean drama series that's on Netflix, and I pretty much had to check it out because the memes were unavoidable. That goes to show you that you don't necessarily have to pump endless money into ads to get people's attention. Just rely on those sweet, spicy memes.
What kind of place is this?
It's a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to these streaming things that everyone suddenly starts talking about. With this show, I'd say I loved about 80% of it, but then there were some really strange decisions that really bogged down the experience for me. The messaging and the premise of this show is pretty great, and it was also very entertaining to see play out, and I was genuinely invested in a lot of the characters, but a few decisions were like, in episode 3, they did that thing where a character has to infiltrate a facility and they only accomplish it because the lookouts are bad at looking out. Like, you didn't even know what you were walking into, and you should have been caught 10 times over if anyone was just paying the slightest bit of attention. Like, I guess that just happened to work out very conveniently for you, didn't it? Plus, that character's side plot didn't really amount to much outside of a twist reveal at the end of episode 9. Speaking of twists, the one in the last episode was so utterly pointless that I think it was only done just to surprise the audience in some way. Looking back at the story with that new information, it doesn't improve it. In fact, it kind of ruins a character arc, and it makes it harder to understand their motivation. Why did you do this? You had a great character arc already completed and you pissed all over it. Why? Also, the rich VIP characters were horribly written and acted. Now, I've seen a few people defend this aspect by saying that they're supposed to be detached psychopaths and that is supposed to reflect it, but the way they're portrayed doesn't seem like that. It doesn't seem like that's part of their character. It just feels like bad actors trying to pull that off. Maybe Mark Zuckerberg talks like that, but no one else that I know.
Beat Saber has a passionate community.
Oh, I love Beat Saber.
Anyway, getting all those criticisms out of the way, I still think this is a great show. It just could have been better, if you know what I mean. And I think it's cool to see more foreign stuff kind of going mainstream, and I'd highly recommend you check it out. I'd suggest watching the South Korean audio version with subtitles, though. Don't watch the English dub because it kind of takes away some of the purpose. I'm going to give it a strong 7 out of 10. The Starling. All I can really say about this is that it's a standard melodrama starring actors who don't normally do this kind of movie. It is indeed a movie, but it's just super emotionally manipulative and predictable. Like, the passion for this story is clearly not there. This seriously kind of makes me wonder if to some people the whole experience of a movie is just the basic summary of events. Like, oh, that's Melissa McCarthy. I like Melissa McCarthy. And oh no, sad things are happening to her. That means this movie's sad, and it's not just lazily tugging at my heartstrings by showing something that is indeed very sad, but not really giving me a reason to care about any of these characters. I mean, if there was at least some creative camera work or something, or a presentation style that made my eyes perk up, if that's a saying, but you know what I mean. The point is that everybody just felt like they were going through the motions, collecting a paycheck. That could be the alternate title to this. Collect a Paycheck, the movie. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's just totally empty to me. 4 out of 10. Wow, I did not realize how bad this movie's poster looks. Why are they in a white void? Did they forget to put a background here? Why does this look so bad? Oh my god. Vacation Friends. Now, I've voiced my criticisms with modern comedies in the past, and this movie certainly aligns with a few of those. Lots of contrivances. It takes itself weirdly seriously once the end of the second act rolls around, because it just has to, because it's following the standard formula to a T. But I just thought it was funny, and it's a comedy, so I really don't need much more reason to say that I enjoyed myself than that. Like, it doesn't matter if it's cliche as all hell and formulated. If it makes me laugh, it's fine. 6 out of 10. Well, that does it. Now, before you go, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that thumbs up button on this video. It'll help me feed my starving children. And by children, I mean ego.